Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1. Anthony Joshua, heavyweight champion of the world, said he might not fight in the US. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We are working. Now, I'm getting ready for March, which will be a great month for heavyweight fighting, especially on Showtime. Well, actually, we got to make sure Joshua versus Parker ends up on Showtime, but I think there's a strong chance it will. You also have Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz basically being rescheduled from last November to March 3rd. And Joshua did an interview with ESPN. He said some interesting things, and I want to give my thoughts. They asked him if he could go his entire career without fighting in America. Joshua replied, yes, because it's all about where the market is, and it's so strong here, it's brilliant here, so why would we leave it? He says, I wouldn't mind going to the States if people were to say, look, Joshua, this will cement your legacy. This is a great opportunity to go to America. I'll definitely think about it. But where no one has said it, and I'd be like, let's just go to Vegas because everyone else has done it. I don't want to do it for that. What we did with Vladimir Klitschko at Wembley was phenomenal. I still train at Finchley, ABC, so a lot of my support is home-based. I always say it gives people an opportunity from my local area to travel half an hour to Wembley for one of the biggest fights in boxing history. That's why I don't want to travel to America, not just for the sake of it, because it limits a lot of people from being able to come and watch me. For his last 2 fights against Klitschko, he's saying the gates, they're saying in the article, the gates were 90 and 78,000. Joshua, he kept going on and said, I would love to fight Deontay Wilder at Wembley. Wembley would be sick for that in the summer. Wilder's an American fighter and I'm not. So me going there shouldn't really add massive numbers on pay-per-view television revenue. He should already be showing a spreadsheet of what they are achieving, and that should already tempt me to go there and think, if I come, I'm only going to add 20%. I shouldn't be adding 80% and him filling up the rest. So that's from Joshua. Now, I don't know, maybe it's just I'm cut from an old cloth, but I totally disagree with what Joshua is saying. Like, I mean, that's the best way to put it. I can't understand this logic. Like, in the post Floyd Mayweather era, it's like everybody wants to be Money Mayweather, and everyone, oh, boxing is a business and you got to do what's right for the business and your family. And like, I get that. This is a business for me too. So I'm trying to achieve numbers. I'm trying to unlock new doors and, you know what I mean, grow my brand as well. So I get boxing is a business. It's a business for me too. Every year I have to fill out a 1099. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. It's a business. But nowadays it seems like you have fighters who are like more and more not talking like fighters. They're talking more like they are the promoters. So I don't know if it's people in their ear or people watch what Floyd Mayweather achieved in the Forbes list, and it's just kind of, I guess, spoiled them, and they're looking more and more so into the other things. But that's not the school I come from. I firmly believe if you do what's right, if you do right by the fans, then the support and the money and everything that follows, legacy and you being in the history books, it will come. And from what I've seen, some of the greatest fighters from Britain, from some of the British fighters of old, they always fought in America. Lennox Lewis, you know what I mean? He didn't fight Mike Tyson in the UK. And I think he was the belt holder, so he could have if he wanted to, right? But he wasn't tripping off of none of that. He was he went to prison, and he got a rape case, and I'm the ace. He wasn't doing none of that. You know what I'm saying? Ricky Hatton, his biggest fight, he fought Floyd Mayweather in America. he fought Manny Pacquiao in America. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? Ricky Hatton has a legion of fans, and they turned out and they turned up and showed out, especially that Floyd Mayweather. I remember I was watching the pay-per-view. I'm like, God damn, there's more people in Vegas rooting for Ricky Hatton than Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? And it was like they had trumpets and the Gap Band and shit, like Earth, Wind, and Fire. Reasons that we here. Doom, 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 doom. Like, you know what I mean? They had singers and all types of acrobat. I was like, wow, this is lit. You know what I mean? So I mean, I don't feel what Joshua was saying here. He's talking about I might never fight in America, like, because you have to understand like this too. He keeps saying, oh, if my market's in the UK, but you also got fans that, well, you know what I'm saying, when you're an international star, a global star, or the star who's becoming bigger and bigger, you know what I mean, you're getting US endorsement deals, you know what I mean? Beats is not based out of the UK to my knowledge, right? And neither is Under Armour to my knowledge. So, you know what I mean? You're becoming a face of sports and boxing. So while you keep saying, oh, I want my fans to come, you have to understand that the bigger you get, you'll start to transcend just your own immediate area. Like Tupac Shakur. It's not like just people from the West Coast liked him, or the places that Tupac lived, Baltimore and New York. You have people from like Bucharest and, you know what I mean, just random places, Dubai. You watch the Tupac Resurrection documentary. At the end, they had people in Africa and France and all these places playing his music and wearing t-shirts, and they had painted murals and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So once you get to a certain level of celebrity, you transcend that. So while he keeps saying like, oh, I want my fans to be able to travel, you got fans in the UK. A lot of people in the US. A lot of people in the US want to see you do well as well, or at least see the opportunity to see you fight. So I get it, it's popping in the UK, but I mean, all your fights have been in the UK. And another thing, as a fighter, this is just a little side note, is when you leave the nest, so to speak, and you fight, that also shows really how good you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not comparing Joshua to these guys, but you look at guys like Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn, he's been fighting all his fights in Australia. So now if he fights Terrence Crawford, to my knowledge, that shit's not happening in Australia. So that would be a huge win if he can come to New York, come to the States, and beat a guy like Terrence Crawford, because you're way away from home. You know what I mean? You're not down, crikey. You're not down under, mate. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different ball game. You know what I mean? And it's just, that's the nature of the beast. If Liam Smith fought Canelo in Texas and were able to beat Canelo, that would have been a huge win, because he went away from home to do it. So I don't know. I don't understand the whole thing with what Joshua was saying, and he's kind of been saying this. Lennox Lewis has kind of agreed with me too. Like, why not come to America? And the other thing is, like, I've heard people like Carl Froch, who he literally, I've been in this game for a while. Carl Froch, they were talking about having him fight Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. in Las Vegas, and he said himself, it was a dream of mine to come to the States to fight, because all of the historic fights that have taken place in Las Vegas. Carl Froch, a UK British fighter, said that. You know what I'm saying? So aside from anything else, it seems like you would want to come to one of the meccas in boxing. America's way bigger than the UK, and I lived in both. I lived in England and I live in America now. You know what I mean? So it seems like you would want to, just to be a part of that lineage, you know what I mean, to fight at the Forum or wherever, or Madison Square Garden, and your poster's up there with Sugar Ray Leonard and other greats that have graced the same venues as you. You know what I mean, the Muhammad Ali's and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm not saying what should happen. Like, I just want to see the Wilder Joshua fight. I don't really give a shit where it happens, to be honest. You know what I mean? If it happens, if they do it in London and Wembley and it makes the most business sense for everybody involved, then fine, put it there. I have no problem. And see, this is the great thing about Wilder, is he already said, He said for the right price, he says, I'm a traveling champ. He says my title, my belt says heavyweight champion of the world. He says, so he says the cash is in America. He says filling out stadiums, and he has a point here. He said filling out stadiums and Cardiff and all this stuff like that. It looks good, but the real money's in America. And you gotta understand that there's a truth behind that. Like, for example, Canelo versus Gennady Golovkin. Why didn't they fight in Mexico? Why didn't they fight in Kazakhstan? Why didn't they fight in the UK? Because they know in Las Vegas, a tourist town, they're gonna make a shit ton of money, and it actually set records in terms of live gate and things like that. So it is what it is. Like I said, I don't care if it happens in London. If they can make the logistics make sense where we get the fight, I just want to see the fight more important. But just this attitude from Joshua about, I might never fight here. I mean, I'll consider it, but he makes it sound like it's not likely because he keeps saying this. You know what I mean? And he's talking about Wilder needs to show him a spreadsheet and tempt me to go there. I don't know. It's kind of weird. And like, I thought the Klitschko fight, the rematch, was gonna happen in Las Vegas, which would have been great. But I don't know. I didn't hear Joshua say that Klitschko needs to give him a Excel spreadsheet and all this stuff for him to fight Klitschko in a rematch in Vegas. But it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think. I like it. I like people like, even like Sergey Kovalev. One of the reasons why I respect Sergey Kovalev's fight game is because he was a road warrior. He was fighting, going to people's backyard and beating their ass. Like Jean Pascal, he fought him in Canada twice. Went to Nathan Cleverly, and I think he fought him in Scotland. You know what I mean? Glasgow. Even Billy Joe Saunders, another UK fighter, he beat David Lemieux in Canada. He gave him home ground and everything. So it goes to show you, and people typically like, man, I give Billy Joe Saunders even more credit that he beat David Lemieux in David Lemieux's backyard, as opposed to if they would have fought in England. That's me. You know what I mean? People like Amir Khan. I mean, Kell Brook. Amir Khan and Kell Brook. Amir Khan fought Lamont Peterson in his backyard. Technically, he didn't win, but some people thought he won. But, I mean, Amir Khan has had a ton of fights in America. Kell Brook fought Sean Porter across the pond. But it seems like Joshua, he's just comfortable in the nest, and they're like, oh, it's not broke, don't fix it. No one's saying it's broke or it will be broke if you come to America. It's just a different market, more exposure. I mean, just imagine your favorite rapper or musician and they say, hey, I'm never touring in the UK. I'm American and I make American music and we're selling out all these dates. Let's say Eminem or whoever, Jay-Z, and they said, you know what? We're never going to Amsterdam. We're never going to UK. Never going to England. Never going to Germany. We're never going to anywhere. We're comfortable here. I mean, I just don't see how that would benefit the brand. You know what I mean? And make you as big as humanly possible. That's just my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. Drop it in the comment section, link in the description. Make sure you smash the like button. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.